How did you become a non-feminist woman?
I think I was raised that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, being raised in my grandmother's house, and she taught me that we might be weaker, but we're still necessary.
Mm-hmm.
We're still important. You know, men rely on us, and we rely on them.
Okay.
So
So you were raised slightly traditional, I suppose, in a sense. What are your thoughts on the patriarchy?
I, the word just inflames me.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I think the cultural tenets were in place to protect women, not to oppress them.
Mm-hmm.
Particularly with, you know, physical jobs, firefighter, military, that sort of thing. So as not that they thought that women couldn't do them, but that they shouldn't have to.
Right.
That, you know, that we needed protection.
What are your thoughts on traditional gender roles?
I would have loved to have been a stay-at-home mom. Mm-hmm. It makes me so sad that I couldn't mm-hmm. do that because of, you know, the way things are set up. Two people have to work now,
right,
to survive. No, it's, you can do anything you want to, and you can have it all, but yet when I'm at work, I feel like I should be with my family, and when I'm with my family, I feel like I should be working harder. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I have a measure of unhappiness in both realms because this has been put in front of me. Mm-hmm. You know, return me to a time where all I had to do was take care of my children. That would be awesome. You know, I feel like I don't get days off. Yeah. I feel like there are days when I'm not at work, but on my days off is when I'm catching up cleaning around the house. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, you know, it would be nice to not carry that.
Yeah. But instead we have some people who said, you know, men are not necessary. Actually, they're holding you back if you're a stay-at-home mom. You should be working, you know. And I can only imagine that works in a society where no one has kids.
Right.
So that is the society that we are being prepared for, in a sense. You know, because birth rates go down, right? Yeah. Because it's difficult. We don't have each other. We don't have extended family. We are being prepared for a world where all these familiar connections are much less. Mm-hmm. And of course, if society tells us that men are not necessary, then this results in everything is harder, you know, when you have that mindset, and it results in the men and women aren't working together, so they're more likely to break up. You're not necessary. You're holding me back. And right. Yeah, you don't depend on him. Don't ever depend on him, because if he's, you know, you may need to get out, you know. And yeah, so then you're in a position to get out. You get out. We don't have each other. How can we have children? How can right. Who, you know, you have children, but this is extremely difficult to do. You have children and a job. This is, you know.
I wonder how we would feel if men also had the attitude of, I'm just going to assume this person might leave someday.
Yeah. Which is what is happening. That's what's happening to society. Men are and have pushed back, and they are saying no. You know, right. They are, in a sense, they are calling out women on our nonsense, in a sense. They have called us out, and they will continue to call us out. And they're saying no, you know, they're not getting married. They're not interested in long-term things. and they're scared of us. So they're like, no, prenups, whatever, no. And this is very scary because it ends in a completely dysfunctional society where people don't have each other.
Yeah.
And like, what is the point of society when we don't have each other? Like, the whole point of everything is each other. Like, that's the whole point. There's literally nobody would even, there's no point of anything without each other. So
right, that is the only constant. Human
interaction, love between people, love between a man and a woman, love between a mother and a child, love between your mother and father and you and whatever, right? This is what we're here. This is what drives us as humans. This is why we're here, to experience this sort of connection between people.
Right, because
yet
your house comes and goes, your car changes, your job changes, your amount of wealth changes.
Yeah.
But your compassion for another human being, that's the only foundation we have to stand on.
And this is what brings us happiness. I mean, we would be completely unhappy without each other. It doesn't matter. Happiness, people were happy 1,000 years ago just as they are happy today. We don't need all this stuff that we have, and we don't need wealth. We don't need all of that in order to be happy, but we do need each other. Like, we do need each other. I do need my husband and my kids and my mother and my father or whoever. I need these people and extended society in general in order to be happy. We need each other. But we are being pushed towards a society where all of that will be broken down and is being broken down because we are told we don't need each other. Prepare for a life without a man. You don't need a man. And then he says, of course, what could he say to that? He says, well, you know what? All of this nonsense, I don't need a woman. MGTOW, sorry, you know, bye-bye. I don't need a woman. I'm going to prepare for life without a woman. I'm going to protect myself. And what do you end up with? You end up with loneliness. You end up with a society alone and no children. Because who can have children in these conditions? It is hard to have children without support and without men and women like trusting each other, depending on each other, and needing each other. But society has told us we can't do that. We can't depend on a man. We can't depend on each other. Don't even depend on your mother. Don't depend on your father. Don't depend on each other. You're an independent person and only you can help you. What are your thoughts on MRAs?
There's a group called the Honey Badgers. I guess it's women that kind of support them. If I could figure out how to join them, I would.
Yeah.
Because it's so sad to me that men don't have any reproductive rights, really.
Yeah.
They're still held accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, being as I've been through the divorce and the court system, I experienced some of the bias that they go through,